Democrats could be setting themselves up for a serious case of impeachment buyer's remorse. Remember, they promised us bombshell testimony from their star witnesses yesterday, but Adam Schiff's spectacle failed to deliver. That dud could now prove to be a very costly mistake for Nancy Pelosi and her Democratic pals. Of course, the liberal media is coming to their rescue. Check them out trying to reset the narrative by just spinning what happened at the hearing.
That phone call. This was a bombshell.
The big bombshell today. What did you make of the bombshell?
Going back to the bombshell.
Devastating testimony.
Devastating new information.
Bribery. Attempted bribery.
It was an attempted bribe.
They already have more than they had against Richard Nixon to impeach him.
And if you were wondering what the Democrats' impeachment push is really about, AOC just said it out loud. Listen.
At the end of the day, we have to be able to come together as a caucus, and if it is this Ukrainian allegation that is what brings the caucus together, then I think we have to run with however we unify the House. We also need to move quite quickly because we're talking about the potential compromise of the 2020 elections. And so this is not just about something that has occurred. This is about preventing a potentially disastrous outcome from occurring next year.
Oh, she said it out loud, Dana. You're not supposed to say that.
Well, the thing is, I don't think the problem in the caucus is that they don't have agreement on impeachment. They do have agreement on impeachment. The problem the Democrats have is they don't agree on which way the country should go, continue with free market capitalism or socialism. The divide is not about not liking Donald Trump. They got a 99% agreement on not liking Donald Trump. So I don't think that the consensus that they needed was not necessarily about this, except I do think that Nancy Pelosi is probably going to have to look at all of them and say, I told you that this was not a good idea. You wanted us to do it. And I read a ton of news this morning. I ran from the farthest left to all the way through the middle to the farthest right. And my consensus this morning was that nobody woke up this morning thinking that impeachment is an imperative, that day one did not change anybody's minds, and that they have this buyer's remorse, thinking, OK, now if the president were to lose next November, it won't be because of impeachment. It will be because of lots of other factors and turnout and all of that. Now, if he wins and he improves his total in the Electoral College or in the popular vote, I do think that the Republicans and probably a lot of the Democrats will look back and say impeachment helped him get there.
You know, I think he raised $3.1 million just yesterday on the first day of impeachment, Greg.
The Democrats, they're up Schiff's Creek without a paddle.
Ooh, well done.
Thank you. The media, I like the media because they're complaining about not being how this is not being taken seriously by the public. Like they expect more people to be enraged. They're acting like the film director after the movie bombs that first weekend and they've read Rotten Tomatoes and it's just saying your movie sucks. And it is their movie. The media helped direct this film, so they're taking this rejection personally, which is why you see CNN complaining about all the right-wingers who are telling viewers not to take this seriously. But it wasn't a hearing. It was a seance. The entire process was based on the power to read minds, right? It's like they thought that they could see into Trump's brain, but you can't see his thoughts. You can see his actions, right? So that's why everybody was like going, there's nothing here. The worst part about this whole thing, and it's kind of funny but sad, they sent therapy dogs to
No, that was a coincidence.
Oh, was it a coincidence?
Yeah.
Thank God.
It's a good story, though.
Tell me the story.
There was
they
this group was planning for months ahead of time. They were scheduled to be there on the Hill. They just happened to be there on the day of the impeachment. So then some people thought that they were brought in for impeachment. It was just a coincidence.
What I love about it, because I'm going to pretend you never said that, is that these clowns manufactured the anxiety that they now pretend to suffer from.
Oh.
We're going to edit all of that out in post.
We're not live right now?
No, we're not. This is all pre-taped.
Okay, this is all on tape. Good. To Greg's point about
Yes.
the audience now being blamed by the press for, I guess, not understanding the bombshells or not understanding the complexities of these high crimes and misdemeanors. One, the Kavanaugh hearing, the Comey hearing, and even the Michael Cohen hearing had bigger ratings than this first impeachment hearing. What does that tell you?
What does it tell me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, Nancy Pelosi said, I don't know why anyone would think Nancy Pelosi has regrets. She said today She thought the witnesses corroborated a bribery case against the President of the United States. That's pretty significant to me. But I noticed that when I'm listening to conservative Trump media, they say, hey, you know what, Stephanie Graham, White House press secretary, this was a joke. Donald Trump Jr., this is insanity. Some of the talk show hosts, don't watch it, a waste of time. This is stupid.
Just say it's me who said that.
Did you say that? Okay, Greg said that
yesterday.
Too. All right.
Although Fox had the #1, we had the most viewers.
Thank you. Yeah, that's
this
because
show
of Dana.
did very well. Thank you, Adam Schiff.
So to my mind, it's like, you know what? You get separate audiences in separate silos, right? And the message to the conservatives is, don't worry, don't pay attention, don't listen, because it might change your mind, and we don't want anybody to change their mind.
Fox News was the largest audience.
I agree.
So how is people, how are people not paying attention?
Because the message, not only here, but I'm talking about on a lot of the conservative talk shows and the like, was this is to be ignored, even though this is a historic event. This is
not
what
historic.
this is. It is historic. This is a remedy that the founding fathers put in place for when the president is abusing his power. They're not built right now. Remember, they're not building a final case. This is like, this is not a criminal proceeding, but the analogy would be like a grand jury. They are looking for a preponderance of evidence and testimony.
They didn't get it yesterday.
And you know what? Public sentiment has shifted on impeachment, Jesse.
I know it has. Well, I think it might be shifting away from what you think it might be.
But we know it's really high.
If you look at the Republicans on the committee, they are not the ones saying that you shouldn't be watching. In fact, they're saying we want to present even more people and different kinds of evidence to the American people, and Adam Schiff is refusing to do so. The question, I think, for Schiff going forward is going to be, what is his strategy? Is he going to continue down this road, inevitably, of wanting to bring articles of impeachment on the floor for a vote? Because at this point, he kind of has to. He's made all of these claims about how serious this is, how it's a threat to the country. Of course, that's what they would have to do to maintain his own credibility and his own ego, because he's leading the charge on this. Or are they going to now shift the goalposts and make different accusations? So with Russia, it was, well, there's all this collusion. And then when they couldn't prove collusion, they moved to obstruction. Are they now going to move the argument down the road as they continue not to get the corroboration that they need to make the case?
And Dana, if this does go to the Senate, does that mean if there's a Senate trial that every senator must be there throughout the entire deal? Because a lot of these senators are going to be running for president.
Yeah, so it's pretty interesting, actually. So pretty much you would, if you are a senator, you could choose not to go, but then you just increase the chances that the Republicans are able to acquit because of the votes. But, yeah, you think of Kamala Harris, Senator Booker,
Warren,
Bernie Sanders. I can't remember if there's other senators running. Apologies if I'm not remembering you.
Klobuchar.
Oh, thank you. Klobuchar from Minnesota. So, yeah, so it's about a 6-hour ordeal every day, 6 days a week. And you can imagine that Mitch McConnell would be like, well, I'll just sit here for 2 months in January and February. And you think that Iowa is in February, the first week of February, New Hampshire the second week, Super Tuesday right after that. And also, if you're a juror, as a senator, you're not allowed to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So... Because
you think they can keep this to themselves?
Well, that's why I think that I think that this is going to come to a pretty quick conclusion
in the House,
and the Senate.
Yeah, like a rush, like, oh yeah, let's get this over. But let me just say, Dana, to you, I think they should, look. But I just to Dana's point about, if Mitch McConnell stretches this out to embarrass the Democrats and prevent them from campaigning, don't forget, Democrats think this is good.
Yeah. We'll have to see.
It's the purest example of an orchestrated event meant to manipulate the public, right? Because now we're watching it, and what did we see? Witnesses who didn't witness anything. We knew from the start this was a sham.
All right.